Cheeky midweeky, let's have a look at some of the stuff that I've been up to this week. We have been diving even further into my prep, getting closer and closer to this competition now. Definitely dialing in this food, still affording a little bit of flexibility with some of the food that I'm eating, but being definitely a lot stricter with the food that I'm eating, not being in a position where I'm straying too far away from my macros. Really important to identify that this is taking my fitness down to that nth degree. It is being very strict, it's being very organized to get a very specific outcome. As I dive closer to this competition, it is about being organized, it is about being prepped, and it's about dialing everything in. I've had an enormous amount of success up to this point with flexibility and a lot of adaptability in my diet around the foods that I've been eating, when I can eat them, and not worrying drastically about overeating a huge amount. I was able to go to events, eat burgers, eat pizzas, eat ice cream, go to weddings, things like that, without having a huge impact on my ability to continue to cut down. But as we get closer and closer to this competition, we're just gonna dial this in. And this isn't a long-term solution to my health, to my fitness. This is about a performance outcome rather than being, I wanna look good or lean or fit in that scenario. This is a very performance-orientated goal. Gonna dive in a little bit to my posing routine. I had a few goes at this with watching a routine and going over it without filming it. So this isn't my first ever attempt at it, but it's definitely my first proper attempt without actively watching the routine while I'm doing it. There's a lot of mistakes here and a lot of things that I want to improve on. Some of the big things that I really want to look at is trying to make myself as wide as I possibly can, thinking about being broader in the shoulders, being the right positions with the elbows, and getting a nice flow and a little bit of smoothness in between the transitions, between the positions. Some of the things I want to look at is being a bit more upright in that Arnie pose. I want to be in the position where I can hold myself broad and tall as much as I can and just start to feel comfortable. This is something that I've never done before. I've never had to pose in these positions. I've never had to create these shapes. So this is not something that's come naturally to me immediately. So this is something that I'm gonna spend a lot of time on over the next few weeks to really dial this in, and I will keep you guys posted with how I'm moving, how I'm feeling, and hopefully you'll start to see a little bit of progression around the way that I'm moving and I'm holding some of these positions better. And definitely for you guys who know your bodybuilding, you can start to see that transformation that I'm taking really kind of kick off. On the training front, since the last video, we have done a total body strength orientated day, very compound orientated. I wanted to get in and out and get as much muscle mass done as possible, so I split in upper and lower body within this session. I've also managed to get in some upper body, very hypertrophy orientated, pushing and pulling, and accentuate that kind of gap in where I am in my physique between the physique that we want to be hitting. And I've also, in line with the fitness side of things, been out for a thresholdy run, feeling really good at just below a 4:30 pace. Really smooth, that comfortably hard pace that you'd find for a kind of threshold run. I love to be in a position where I describe to people when they go out for a threshold. It's not quite an all-out effort, but it should be comfortably hard. That heart rate is going to be hovering up, but it's a pace that you feel like you should still be able to sustain without kind of tipping yourself over the edge. On the whole, a class week so far. Really looking forward to diving into a little bit more posing, having a bit more practice, and really dialing things in as we go into that bodybuilding competition in just a few weeks time now, and then that 10K run just a week later. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along to my endurance and aesthetics journey.